Okay. This is review. I know. Are you sick of, should we just move on to new stuff? You're sick of review? Here, I'm going to move that through. Okay. Not only is it review from chapter 1, it's review from algebra 2, and it's review from algebra 1. Okay, so yesterday we talked about polynomials, and polynomials are anything that has an x on the base and then exponents. What were the 2 rules from yesterday about the exponents? Anyone remember?
Had to be a whole number.
Positive whole number, okay? Tomorrow we'll talk about what if you have an exponent that's like a fraction. We call those something different than polynomials. The most famous polynomials probably are linear, because that's a polynomial, degree 1. We don't really run around calling it a polynomial, but it is. And the degree 2. So that's why I thought we would start with those 2. We'll get into larger degrees in 2, 3. So all a quadratic function is ax squared plus bx plus c. It's a polynomial of degree 2. And then what I put here are some reminders. Actually, I'm going to change this up. I'm changing my old ways. To find the vertex, do you remember negative b over 2a?
Yeah.
Okay. There is a formula to find the k, which is c minus ah squared. I'm going to just go back to our Algebra 1 days and say, to figure out k, we're just going to plug in negative b over 2a for x. Can you see orange okay in the back? Yeah, actually, some of you have said that you struggle seeing in the back. I'm going to use a darker color. I like orange. But sometimes orange and red are harder to see under the DAC camera. Okay, is that a little better? You still want me to zoom in? Okay. I'll do an example in a second. Honestly, guys, there's other ways. You could complete the square. Do you remember completing the square? Okay. You don't, I really love completing the square, but here's what I'm going to tell you about it. It's not necessary if you know how to do negative b over 2a and plug it in. Okay, so I really like it, but it's not necessary. It's kind of cool. So hk is the vertex. X equals h is the axis of symmetry. Let's just draw a little parabola here. Okay, so h and k represent the vertex. The axis of symmetry is this vertical line, which would have coordinates x equals h. How do you tell if it opens up or down? What tells you that?
If there's a negative in front of the x.
Yeah, that a in front, that's, you know, we talk about how that's a vertical stretch or shrink, but it's also going to tell you if it opens up or down. If a is positive, opens up. If a is negative, it opens down. Okay, so the reason why this is review from chapter 1 is we did this really, we didn't call it vertex form, but we transformed x squared. And so if I said, how is this related to x squared? Ooh, let's see how we do on our transformations. What's that mean? Paul? Right 3. And what does this mean? Up 2. So one of the things I'll have you do today is then just sketch a picture of that. So if I sketched a picture of that graph, you don't have to write this down, but remember x squared was right here. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to move that graph right 3 and up 2. So now it would have a vertex of 3, 2. All right, now, how do I get other points on the graph? Well, I would just use the fact that x squared, think of 1 squared and negative 1 squared. Isn't 1 squared 1? and negative, okay. So if it's the same width, the width didn't change. Why? Because there's nothing in front there. That just means A is still 1. What I can do then is from this, I can go over 1 and up 1 on either side. And I just would then make sure I drew a curve through those points though. There would be a sketch of my graph. So let's see, if I went over 1, up 1, I think this point would be 4, 3, 2, 3. Okay. How would this one look? Okay, we got lots of things going on here. This is good review of transformations. A negative out in front means opening down. Okay, so I'm going to write reflect over x-axis. What does the 2 mean? Yeah, vertical stretch of 2 makes it narrower. And then x minus 1 means yeah. Oh, that's better. Oh, that's way better. Don't you think? Can you see that better? Okay. Right one. Thank you. And down 7. Okay. So there's a lot in here. So how would I address this? I would first just move it to the new vertex, and then I'm going to take care of the reflect over x-axis and vertical stretch of 2. All right, so we're going to move right 1 down 7. So when I draw my sketch, I'm going to make my XY axis really high because this is going to be opening down and it's down 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so we got a vertex of 1, negative 7. And now I want to make it go down. So if it were the parent function, I would go over 1, down 1. But it's vertically stretched by 2. So what should I do?
Over 1, down 2.
Go over 1, just down 2 instead. And I'll just label those points. That would be 2, negative 9, and 0, negative 9. So just can you sketch a graph with 3 key points today based on the vertex? How are we feeling about this?
Good.
We're tired? Well, I'm going to tell you in a second. All right. So we'll do one of each. If I ask you to find the vertex and axis of symmetry and it's already in vertex form, there is no work required. Let's do letter B. Okay. Remember, x is a liar. So we have x minus h squared plus k. So what would the vertex of this be? Negative 4, 2. And the axis of symmetry is a vertical line that cuts through the middle. Do not forget the equation for the line. Vertical lines have equation of x equals a constant. So the axis of symmetry, I'll just call it axis, is the vertical line x equals negative 4. Okay. Ooh, let's do the harder one. Let's do D. What if it's in standard form and I ask you to find the vertex and axis of symmetry? Well, are you noticing that the axis is the same as the x-coordinate of the vertex? You're seeing that? So that's not 2 separate work steps. As long as we find the vertex, we've found the axis as well. So I'm going to use the formula negative b over 2a to find this. So I'm going to just plug in. Do you know what I mean when I say plug in?
Yeah.
Plug it in. Okay, so negative b over 2a means, I always teach in algebra, like I just take the opposite of what b is. So if it's 5, it's negative 5 Why did I write b again? I don't know. Negative 5 over 2 times 3. That's negative 5, 6. Okay. Now, if you want to use your calculator, you can. I'm going to use my brain. Plug it in. So this is the x coordinate. So to find the y coordinate, by the way, isn't this now the axis of symmetry? X equals negative 5, 6. All right. What is it approximately? Somebody type in negative 5 divided by 6. What is it approximately? As a decimal. Help me out here. Chris, use that calculator on your desk. Make it useful. Negative 5 over 6 is?
3.83 repeating.
Okay, 0.83 repeating-ish. All right. Now, if you want to use your calculator and you want to do the plug-in, then would you please not put in 0.83, that rounds it. Would you actually put in parentheses negative 5 divided by 6 if you want to get it the most accurate, if you're like allergic to fractions. You don't like my jokes. All right. I'm going to plug it in. And just because I want our brains to grow a little bit, we're going to do it by hand. All right, so when you square a fraction, you're squaring the top and bottom. So this means negative 5 squared over 6 squared. What's negative 5 squared? Okay, so this is like 25 over 36. Does that make sense? Okay. There's nothing here. This is just 5 times, this is like 5 over 1. 5 times negative 5 is negative 25 over 6 minus 4. Let's see here. Ooh, 3 goes into 36 how many times? 12. Okay. So now I have 25 over 12 minus 25 over 6 minus 4. Well, this has got a 12 and a 6 and a 1 on the bottom, so I think I'm going to have to make them all 12ths, huh?
Sure.
Whitney, don't shake your head at me. Okay, so we're going to multiply this one by 2 over 2. What are we going to multiply this one by? Oh, poop. 12 over 12. This one I want to do by 2 over 2. Oh, good thing we didn't use this other space. That's perfect. So I have 25 over 12. What's 25 times 2? Minus 50 over 12. What's 4 times 12? Yep. So minus 48 over 12. We're stretching your brain right now. What's 25 minus 50? Negative 25. Well, now we need to do negative 25 minus 48. Because we can. Okay, negative 73/12. Okay, let's write our answer. Vertex. Negative 5, 6. Negative 73/12. Axis. X equals negative 5, 6. Now, listen, sometimes on the non-calculator section, you're going to have some fractions on your PSAT. Did you have that at all yesterday? Nothing probably like this. But you do, on the non-calculator section, have some fractions.
I had to just write and type in something random if I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah. Let me just show you how you can use the calculator to do this. So once I found my negative 5, 6, if I wanted to plug that in for 3x squared, I would just write 3 negative 5, 6 squared plus 5 times negative 5, 6 minus 4 I would change that to a fraction. Did you know about that?